The Politics program is brought to you, as always, by The Contender, the game of presidential debate. Okay, lots of really fun stuff happening with The Contender. Number one, go ahead and buy it, thecontender.us. Number two, go buy our 2016 expansion. 100 cards, man. This is 1/5 of the game you get to infuse into your deck. So many fun, awesome reactions so far for people playing it over the Memorial Day weekend. July 4th is coming up. This is the time to have this game. Head on into the store, pick up the expansion pack, the presidential party pack. That will get you. That's $69, man. That gets you the 2016 expansion, the politically incorrect expansion, some buttons, just a fun time. Head on over there right now. Go ahead and pick up the game. Also, go to our Facebook page. We're doing a lot of fun stuff. Had a lot of funny videos up there this week. Go check it out. thecontender.us or facebook.com/thecontendergame. And buy stickers or DIAF. Right now in our sticker pack, we have not one, but two Politics cover art. If you like this, show your support by picking up our sticker pack. Stickers or DIAF.com. $5 for a sticker pack. It's a little bit more if you're living outside of the U.S., but we will get it to you ASAP. Thank you guys so much. This has been such an amazing, awesome little excursion into merchandise sales. And by, oh my God, all the beautiful humans at patreon.com/JURY. So real talk, next week, this podcast will be live on the road in Louisville, Kentucky, thanks to you guys. You guys made this happen. The Jury in Your House tour will be happening because you guys got us over 700. And you're like, but Justin, you're only at 670 right now. Well, here's what happened. We had 3 amazingly generous donors kick us over 700. We were at 800 last week because 3 amazing donors made it happen. So then we dropped back down because they likely, listen, man, they're not going to be donating at that level for that long. So they dropped back down. That's totally cool. You guys came to the rescue and have been donating like crazy this week to get us back over 700 legit style. So we are at 670 now. If we could get back to 700, man, I would be tickled pink. But thank you guys for rallying. Patreon.com/JURY. I got to get in touch with Patreon because, man, they got to know about how amazing you guys have been and us going out on the road. But enough of talking about the show. Huh? What do you say we actually do the show?
Politics, 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 politics.
Politics. Yeah. All right, everybody. Welcome to yet another edition of the Politics program. My name is Justin Robert Young. I will be your humble host throughout this exploration of the week that was and the week that will be in presidential politics. The race for the White House 2016 took a couple very, very interesting turns this week, but it all really revolved around one speech. One speech. Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton went to San Diego. No, Justin, man, you hate Hillary Clinton. All you ever do is say that Hillary Clinton's boring. All you ever do is talk about Bernie and Trump, Bernie and Trump, Bernie and Trump. Well, she had a good week this week. And she had a very revealing strategy this week because she went to San Diego. This was on Memorial Day, either on Memorial Day or the day after Memorial Day. She went out and she decided to make a speech about Donald Trump's foreign policy. Now, if you don't find that interesting, allow me to illuminate things for you. First things first. She's not running against Donald Trump in a vote on Tuesday. She is running against Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders. Bop, bop, bop. Bernie Sanders. June 7th. That's when there will be a Democratic primary against Bernie Sanders. Now, what does giving a major speech about Donald Trump do for Hillary when she's actually running against Bernie? Well, it effectively ethers Bernie. It's over. Because there's a risk, right? If the speech is meh, if the speech kind of sucks, then Hillary gets killed for trying to just circumvent Bernie and doing it poorly. And she gives Donald Trump a lot of ammunition. And Donald Trump's then going to come out and say, oh, she sucks. She's a lightweight, crooked Hillary, bleep, blop, 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 blop. But instead, the speech is very well received. The speech is very lights up the Twitter sphere. She effectively goes after Donald Trump, which gives voice to what has now become an increasingly anxious Democratic voting bloc. Because for everybody who's a diehard Bernie person and for everybody who's a diehard Hillary person, there are a lot of Democratic voters that really just don't like Trump and they don't like Republicans and they want to make sure they win. That's the vast majority. And more specifically, they might be inclined toward Bernie because in some polls, Bernie polls against Trump better. And Bernie, by and large, during his primary speeches, rails against Hillary, softly or more directly. But if Hillary is effectively, with this speech, beginning her general election campaign against Donald Trump, it gives her a couple options. Number one, she doesn't have to address the primary anymore. In fact, spoiler alert, here's what's going to happen. In New Jersey, there's going to be a primary that closes and will be decided earlier than the California primary. When those results come in, which will be in favor of Hillary Clinton, she will declare victory. She's going to drop some balloons. She's going to make a very gracious speech thanking Bernie Sanders for his for being a great person. And I don't know whether or not she'll go full. We want to thank Senator Sanders. It might be a little bit more oblique than that, but she's going to say nice things about him because the narrative that she wants, the best narrative for her, is reconciliation. Let's bring everybody in the tent. Think about that. Everybody in the tent. It's almost as if she is looking to cultivate a, what's the word? Big tent party. Oh, man, you want to know what? That sounds familiar. That sounds like what the Republicans say they have. Big tent party. A party that can have wildly different points of view, but at the end of the day, we all go ahead and coalesce around the nominee. That's a narrative that feels really good to Hillary. Well, that's interesting, huh? That is interesting, right? That's interesting. Okay. Now, where does that leave Bernie? How does Bernie attack Hillary if Hillary's main point of view is, I am now running against Trump? She wants to put narratively in any light whatever Bernie says about Hillary in a negative word about Hillary is a positive word about Trump. And if she can do that effectively, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Put her on ice. She out. Chuck your deuces up, like Beyonce sings. Because this is over. Done. Finished. Finado. Even, and listen, this is in play. Even if Bernie wins in California after Hillary effectively declares victory in New Jersey. Because she ain't going to wait until California's in. She's just going to say, meh, we're done. Over. So this speech, and we're going to get into it a lot more, for as well received as it is, was not devastating to Donald Trump. It was devastating to Bernie Sanders because people liked it. She put a lot of effort into it. I thought she had a good performance with it. She showed maybe the most effective Hillary Clinton from a presidential candidate perspective that we've ever seen. And what is the most effective Hillary Clinton? Apparently, a Republican. Because I am not kidding, folks. If you were just to make some minor edits, snip, 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 out of this speech, you would have something that would be a good speech, bordering on great speech, that if passionately delivered by Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, Carly Fiorina, or any of the Republican primary challengers, would have been very well received. Let's go over a few of these, our GOP primary candidate Hillary Clinton's talking points. Because you might not notice it initially, but your brain did. Shout out to Plinkett. I love those Plinkettisms. She says her difference with Trump is that Trump has a cynical view of America and the American military. She says that the choice between her and Trump in terms of foreign policy is somebody who either believes that we are weak or somebody that believes that we are strong. I mean, dude, this is straight out of the Republican playbook, right? She's just ripping plays from the GOP. Well, all right, Justin, come on. You're being a little hyperbolic. You're just saying things to be controversial. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can tell I'm wearing cool guy glasses indoors. This is just for you to make a point and just get your opinion out there so people listen to you. But man, calm down. Let me go ahead a little bit more. Because if this were in the Democratic playbook, here's how you draw the difference. It's not about are we strong or are we afraid. It's are we going to be mean or going to be well-liked. That's how Obama ran. Obama ran in we are a national or an international laughingstock, and I will return us to where we need to be in terms of sitting in the international dialogue. That the opinions of people outside of America matter. That's not what Hillary's saying. Let me make a few bullet points here of things that Hillary brings up. Says that Trump will make us less secure. That Trump is for more countries having nuclear weapons. She says the phrase, I side with the generals. And she gets a chorus of boos when she points out that Donald Trump made fun of John McCain for being caught as a POW. I mean, John McCain, the man that was Boogeyman Hitler in 2008, now at a Democratic rally from the Democratic presumptive nominee, is getting defended by the crowd. They booed. It wasn't even a line where she's like, "Let me hear you." They just booed. They straight out booed. She had them wrapped up. That is, I mean, I can't get over this, man. I can't get over the fact that this is so GOP. How GOP was it? Let me tell you. She quotes Abraham Lincoln saying that America is the last great hope for Earth. Man, what is the Republican Party called? What is the Republican Party called? Man, I was just trying to think of nicknames for the Republican Party. Oh yeah, the Party of Lincoln. The Party of Lincoln. That's what she said. She quotes Lincoln. She says that if we defer on decisions in America when it comes to foreign policy, that the rest of the world makes those decisions. This is almost diametrically opposed to all foreign policy, including her husband's, from Democratic candidates running for president. The standard line for Democratic candidates running for president are effectively what Donald Trump's saying, that the world can handle themselves. We need to be a little bit less the world's policeman. So Hillary says, "Oh wait, hold on, wait. You're not going to use that right-wing foreign policy seat?" Skip. Sits her ass right on down. This is red meat for red states. No equivocation. Hillary is running. This speech is GOP talking points line for line. Justin, I still don't know whether or not you are serious. She goes to the right of Donald Trump on Israel. What? She goes to the right of Donald Trump on Israel. Say word. She goes to the right of Donald Trump on Israel. Now, this is something that they probably, it's not a big shock. It's a big shock that she made a point to bring it up not once, not twice, but thrice. 3 times. She says Israel is our ally, and we should not equivocate because we need to support. We need to stand with Israel. She says her foreign policy is distrust and verify with our rivals. I mean, again, this is, John McCain, when he was running against Barack Obama, was the one who said, "I've seen the eyes of Vladimir Putin. And when I look into his eyeballs, I see 3 letters, KGB. Hillary says almost the exact same thing here. Distrust and verify with our rivals. Hard line. Again, Barack Obama ran in 2008 on, I want to sit down with the leaders of the axis of evil. I want to sit down. I want to talk to them. I want to work it out man to man. We shouldn't be cutting off these lines of dialogue. Hillary Clinton's like, distrust. I think when I sit down at this table or if I send an emissary to your door, I believe you are a liar until you prove me otherwise. So then, all right. She brings up some classic Democratic talking points. She hits Donald Trump on his predilection for calling women pigs and animals, yada, yada, yada. But even then, she gets right wing. Even then. Because her point is not, we set a bad example. She says, very specifically, that's not us. We fight countries. Fight. Round one. Fight. We fight countries that restrict the rights of women. But here's the coup de grace. If you still believe that, I'm just making this stuff up, this is just, I read a lot of other things, and they just kind of made the point that she was mean to Donald Trump, and that was effective. Man, that's why you can't trust other political sources except for me. Because I'm the only one that's going to point this out. And this is where I'm going to bring all this to a head. How do I know that Hillary was trying to run to the right of Donald Trump? How do I know that this would have been an effective speech if it came out of the mouth of Jeb Bush? She defends Reagan. Mic drop. I would drop this mic if it weren't suspended in front of my face. Mic drop. She defends Reagan. As Rush Limbaugh puts it, Ronaldus Maximus. She sides with Reagan. She points out that Donald Trump took out an open letter and took exception, that as a younger man, he took exception to the leadership of Ronald Reagan. She therefore makes the point that on foreign policy, the man who called Russia the evil empire is somebody that needs to be respected. And she doesn't qualify it neither, by the way. She doesn't say, well, now we have our differences with President Reagan. Nah. She just says, this man went after Reagan and he is effed up for doing it. I had to remove my sunglasses for this, because I need y'all to look into my eyes. And if you're just listening to me, then just, look into somebody else's eyes like a stranger. Take a picture of their face, of their confused face, and go ahead and send it to me at Justin R. Young on Twitter. I need you to realize that this is an important distinction, because Hillary had one of two pathways to choose. She could either try to consolidate the left and assume that because America is a 51-49 split advantage Democrats, that by getting all the Democrats in one tent and rallying against Donald Trump as a mean-spirited meanie head who is not fit to be president, she can win. She didn't do that. If this is a blueprint, and by all indications of behind the scenes, this was the tack that she is going to take, she is going to run for the hashtag Never Trump vote. She is going to say that, yeah, you think I'm awful, but I'm going to say enough stuff to lure in conservative-leaning independents who do not want to vote for Trump. Because you want to know what? She thinks this can be an early knockout. She thinks that if polls start rolling in like they have in Florida, where she's up 4, 5, 6 points, polls start rolling in through Ohio, Wisconsin, where she's up, that the pressure put on Donald Trump early will unravel him. Now, I don't know whether or not that's true, but it's clear from this speech that that's what she thinks, because she is going at his heart. It is not a wait-and-see strategy. And she's going to hope that all the adrenaline from that can power her out of the Democratic primary. It's a very, very, very interesting play. And I don't think she's wrong. I don't think this is a bad way to do it. Because Donald Trump had a mixed week. On one hand, Paul Ryan just he finally came around. A surprise endorsement, apparently. Trump's people didn't know he was going to do it. Went out and said, hey, I think that we all kind of had to look ourselves in the mirror and say, really? When Donald Trump was the nominee. But me and the other House Republicans have, when I took over, had a real soul-searching session. And we said, listen, this ain't about who we're against anymore. This is about what we're for. And in talking to Donald Trump, I believe that he will be better for what we're doing. And so, therefore, I will be voting for Donald Trump. That's big. That's good. That is Trump the consolidator. Trump the uniter, not the divider. But then we have, I think we might have to make it a regular segment, maybe with some theme music. Trump's bizarre feud of the week. Sometimes it's about the media, but this one, Jesus Christo, I don't really even know what the hell is going on here. We go to the Wall Street Journal. Headline, Trump says that judge's Mexican heritage presents absolute conflict. Republican charges that Judge Gonzalo Curiel has a conflict of interest and draws criticism from legal observers. This spurs from the fact that Donald Trump is being litigated for a civil fraud lawsuit against Trump University. Donald Trump on Thursday escalated his attacks on a federal judge presiding over a civil fraud lawsuit against Trump University amid criticism from legal observers who said the presumptive GOP presidential nominee's comments are an untrustful affront on an independent judiciary. In an interview, Donald Trump said the U.S. District Judge Gonzalo Curiel had, quote, an absolute conflict in presiding over litigation given that he was, quote, of Mexican heritage, unquote, and a member of the Latino Lawyers Association. Mr. Trump said that the background of the judge, who was born in Indiana to Mexican immigrants, was relevant because of his campaign stance against illegal immigration and his pledge to seal the southern U.S. border. I'm building a wall, Trump says. It's an inherent conflict of interest. Man, one of the great joys I have about this podcast is that, unlike so many, I'm very, very happy that we have a good core group of conservative listeners. I'm very, very happy that we have a core group of evangelical listeners. Because I firmly believe that we in new media can be myopic, that we can become monofocused, and that very often can be a reflection of our personal political biases. And so therefore, I understand that there are people listening right now who will probably vote for Donald Trump because, A, they find Hillary Clinton to be tremendously dangerous for this country. And I understand them. I get them. Man, I am picking up what you're putting down. But I can also understand that when you're looking at your nominee and he is wasting time, money, and effort questioning the legitimacy of a judge in a personal lawsuit, you gotta want to rip your hair out. You gotta want to say, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you drawing a parallel between a private thing that's happening and a public thing that's happening? You want to know what the only thing Donald Trump should be saying about this is? We're going to let the courts play things out. I believe fundamentally that Trump University benefited the lives of hundreds of people. The people that are suing me are probably, when you have a presidential, here's what you do. When you have a presidential campaign, a lot of stuff comes out of the woodwork. A lot of people looking to make a quick buck come out of the woodwork. That's what this is, nothing more. Let's talk about Hillary Clinton's email server. That's what you say. That's what you say. You don't say, here's what you don't say. You don't say, here's what you don't say. You don't say, this judge is biased because he's Mexican. I mean, every time that, because I know some of you, I email with some of you, I've been on the phone with some of you. Every time that Donald Trump you just want him to shut his mouth. Just shut it about this. If it's not about Hillary Clinton, seriously reconsider talking about it. Because this isn't good bomb throwing. This, keeps in the news the fact that people are going to keep saying fraud, con artist, right? That's not good. You don't want that. You don't want that out there. Of all the grand things that you can have become a topic, you do not want he might be a literal con artist out there in the headlines. That's just not a thing. Jeez. Come on. I don't want to get all Alex Jones where I just start just screaming and yelling. But I want to channel. Because I know if you have these feelings, please email me, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Put politics in the subject line. Because this is a useless feud. This feud does not bring you anything. Winning the court case might. But you're not getting closer to winning the court case by attacking the referee. Now, a surrogate attacking the referee? Okay, interesting. I still think it's kind of a waste of time. But you can have somebody else out there on Fox News saying, well, listen, we got some real questions about where this judge is. We think he might have a personal vendetta against Donald Trump. Again, political season. Everyone's looking to make a name for themselves. We think that this is some glory boy judge who's looking to make an ass out of the Donald. Surrogates. That's what surrogates are for. Why else do you have these surrogates if you're not going to use them? Not everything has to come out of your mouth. All right, I got to calm down. Jeez. Now we're yelling. This isn't a show where we yell. Just kidding. It is totally a show that we yell. I don't know. I feel like I just want to relax. I feel like I just want to, my wife is out of town. Wife's at the Reason Rally in D.C. If you're at the Reason Rally, then go ahead and holler at Ashley Paramore. Man, I just kind of want to kick back. Oh, wait. Maybe it's time to turn it up. Oh, wait a minute. You smell that car door? Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, this is
Get on the floor if you got that booty.
Dance. A NBC Wall Street Journal Marist poll taken from May 29th to the 31st. 557 likely Democratic voters for the Democratic primary out here in the golden state of California. Margin of error 4.2. Let's welcome first to the stage. He is the underdog from the underground, the former independent senator from Vermont who wants to put it on you. Ladies and gentlemen, with 47% of the California vote, let's give it up for Bernie Sanders. But with a lead of 2%, let's welcome to the stage, Madam Secretary, if you're nasty, Hillary Clinton, 49%. It's tight. Tight. Like Tuco. Man, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be an interesting one because I'm going to let you know if Hillary declares victory in Jersey and then Bernie wins California, whoo-wee, my timeline is going to be lit, boy. Oh my God, is my timeline going to be on fire. There is going to be so much Bernie anger. So much Bernie anger. Because, man, Bernie, I feel like, is out for BOOD. It is a ugly scene out there. Let's go ahead and get to your emails. JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. Put politics in the subject line. Nigel writes, "Hey, Nigel here. Can't wait to buy you a beer or a glass of Prosecco, perhaps, in Chicago. Over the last 6 months, us horse racing enthusiasts here in Politics have been reveling in the twists and turns of cries of, oh my goodness, could this election get any better? What could possibly happen to make this poop show even more entertaining? Well, I have an answer to these cries, and his name is Gary effing Johnson. With both sides locked in perpetual downward spirals of self-loathing, how gosh darn amazing would it be to see the Libertarian Party get on a debate stage for the general? Not since Ross Perot will we have had such a wild and crazy time behind us with both those lecterns, or are they podiums? Can't wait to hopefully hear this on the next episode. I even edited it for language so you could read it on the air. Thank you very much, Nigel. P.S. I'm seriously going to pledge on Patreon as soon as I ditch this poopy newspaper gig. I keep saying it, but somehow I still find myself waking up at 1 a.m. To bag and throw outdated journalistic media in people's driveways. Shrug. Man, I'll tell you what. This is going to be really interesting. Number one, I hope you're delivering a trunk newspaper. Did y'all see this? The Tribune Media Company decided that they were going to rebrand as Trunk, which is short for Tribune Online Content. True story. I am an ex-employee of Trunk. I worked 2 different places for Trunk, the Sun Sentinel and the Allentown Morning Call. I've got stubs with Tribune, the outdated Tribune Media Company, now Trunk. To get to your point, Nigel, let's actually go real quick. Let's take a look here because I saw some really interesting data that's coming in. Because now that Gary Johnson is officially the Libertarian nominee, they're actually starting to poll for him a little bit. And he's polling around 6 to 8%, which is good. I think that would be a victory if that's what happened. Here, let's go ahead and take a look. General election. Trump versus Clinton versus Johnson. Let's bring it up here on the big board. And go ahead and see what we got here. So this is a Rasmussen Reports poll from the 31st of May to June 1st. 1,000 likely voters, margin of error 3%. Now, Rasmussen has been very, very, very favorable to Trump. In this particular poll, it's got Hillary at 38, Trump at 37, Gary Johnson at 8. And his Real Clear Politics average is 7.6. Right now, all three-way polling has Hillary up on average 2.4%, with Johnson polling between 4 and 11%. But the Monmouth poll that is down here, that one was in March. So who knows? This is interesting stuff. Is Gary Johnson a real guy? Well, hey, listen. There is only one party that will be running 2 former Republican governors. And it ain't the Republican Party. It's the Libertarian Party. Both their president and vice presidential candidates are former Republican governors. And I say to myself, what a wonderful world. I can't believe that we are in this situation. What crazy pants with additional silly sauce. Now, whether or not he will be able to make it to the debates is a whole other story, because I don't know what that threshold is. But that might be something to look into for next week. Galabond, right? So one thing I'm surprised I haven't heard on your Politics podcast is the eerie and almost uncanny resemblance that the real politician Bernie Sanders has to the fictional politician Senator Palpatine, a.k.a. Emperor Palpatine, a.k.a. Darth Sidious, from the Star Wars universe. Of course, Star Wars is only a work of fiction. Of course, there can never be any real politicians who have made persuasive speeches promising massive social reform to sway and win mass appeal from a frustrated electorate, and then consolidated power to begin carrying out mass atrocities, restricting civil freedoms, and turning into a national, regional, or global tyrant. Nah, that's never happened. We don't have anything to worry about. Go ahead and feel that burn. So Galabond obviously is not particularly pleased with Bernie Sanders. I can see where he's coming from with some of it, but I don't know. Listen, they're old white guys. If we're going to say, look how much this one old white guy looks like that other old white guy, then we could be here all day. If anything, I'm sure there's old white guys out there listening to this who are going to tweet me with hashtag not all old white guys. And that I don't look like Senator Palpatine. Well, I don't know, man. According to Galabond, maybe you do. Joey writes, why do people keep saying that Hillary has the most executive experience of anybody who ran for president this year? What executive experience does she have? You could say Kasich had experience as he was the governor of Ohio. You can even say Trump has experience in an executive position being the head of his company. This bugs me for some reason, and I don't know why. Well, it's very, very clear that they are saying experience and not executive experience, right? Hillary Clinton, by and large, is leaning on her foreign policy experience as Secretary of State and saying, hey, listen, I've been in the situation rooms. I've been next to the president. Like, I know what the job is. But listen, the era of executive experience being a boon is at least temporarily out of vogue, man. People do not care about executive experience anymore. And that is very, very weird to me. But, hey, people don't seem to care about it. All right. I got one last thing. And maybe this can be a little fun element to end the show. Somebody sent me a bizarre local commercial. So let's go ahead and take a look right now. This is a real local commercial. Here we go. Maybe I just didn't get it. Hold on, wait. Let's play it again. If you are listening to this on audio and you're like, that just sounds like a bunch of cows, you're right. This is a commercial by District 3 Supervisor candidate Pam Giacomini. She is literally just standing in front of a bunch of cows. She doesn't say anything. She laughs. She shushes them. And that's just kind of a wrap on that. She doesn't really say anything else. This is on her Facebook page. And I don't, apparently on TV, it's that exact ad, except they then put a little officially like vote for bop, beep, beep, bop, bop. Let's I don't quite know Pamela Giacomini. I don't even know what I mean, so I don't know what she's running for. I don't know what's going. Pam is a 4th-generation cattle rancher and a grass-fed beef producer. Pam has lived in Hat Creek her entire life. She's got a Twitter, so that's good. Yeah, man, I don't know. Listen, all I know is she is my internet's running a little slow right now, so I can't exactly find. People are saying that she's from Florida. I guess she is. Oh no, she's in California. She's from Shasta. Man, I don't even know what the hot hell's happening. I don't know what's going on in this ad. I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know why she's just showing herself in front of cows. All I know is that was an amazing ad, and I need you guys to send me that ad and more. Any thought that you guys have running through that pretty little head of yours, you can go ahead and send on over to justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Put politics in the subject line. In fact, you could just put politics once. You don't need to type the other two. Big in your house tour alert. If you are in either Louisville on Friday, Cincinnati on Saturday, Chicago on Sunday, I will be doing a live version of Politics, doing a hangout and doing jury respectively. Follow my Twitter @JustinRYoung, or if you're a patron, I will be giving all the exact details on Patreon this week. So excited to get out on the road. So excited to meet all you guys. We are going to have sticker packs, exclusive sticker packs on sale that will have a not going to get it anywhere else jury in your house logo sticker. So bring $5 because I'm going to sell it to y'all for $5 whole human dollars. As always, Ladies and gentlemen, again, you can email us, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. You can buy The Contender at thecontender.us. You can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/JURY. Music provided by Valesco and Trop Killers. And you can follow me at Justin R. Young everywhere, including Snapchat, man. Killing the Snapchat game lately. Remember, folks, some politics shows talk about politics. Some talk about politics. This is the only one that really talks about politics. I'll see y'all next week on
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.